How are you?
Ah, doing all right. Just hanging out in the digital world. You know how it is. How about you, Mohammed Muzaf? Anything interesting happening in Muttaham?
Yes, I am fine. Now I introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Muzammil Mustafa and I am from Chemical Department, Government College of Technology, Multan. Today I have an
Gotcha.
interesting topic to discuss with you.
Oh, excellent. Lay it on me. What's the topic?
Okay, my topic is how to master the art of negotiation in daily life.
Negotiation, huh? That's a good one. It's everywhere. It feels like everything's a negotiation, even if it's just deciding what to have for. What sparked your interest in this specifically?
Okay, I want to share some knowledge about my students. Therefore, I talked on this topic with you. And my first question is, what does negotiation mean to you in everyday situation?
Hmm, good question. To me, negotiation in every life isn't about being cutthroat or trying to win. It's more about finding a mutually acceptable outcome, right? Like figuring out a way for everyone involved to feel okay with the result. It's about understanding what everyone needs and trying to meet those needs as much as possible. Does that line up with what you've been telling your students?
Okay, why is negotiation an important life skill even outside business?
That's a solid. I think it's important because life is just full of wanting things and needing to collaborate with people who also want things. It's not always about money or deals. It's about getting your needs met in relationships with family, even just getting through a busy day. Being able to articulate what you want and understand what others want. That's huge for avoiding conflict and building stronger connections, wouldn't you say?
Okay, how does emotional intelligence help in negotiation?
Ooh, good one. Huge. Emotional intelligence is kind of the secret weapon, I think. If you can understand your own emotions and recognize them in others, you're way better equipped to navigate a negotiation. You can anticipate reactions, respond calmly, and build rapport. If you're getting heated, or if the other person is, EQ helps you dial it back. It's about reading the room, or in this case, the person, and adapting your approach. Do you find that plays out with your students?
Okay, very good. How can understand the other person need lead to better outcome?
Right. That's key. When you actually try to understand the other person's needs, I mean, genuinely try, it shifts the whole dynamic, moves it from me versus them to let's solve this together. You can tailor your proposals to address those needs, making it more likely they'll be receptive to your side too. It's about discovering what motivates them, what concerns are. Like puzzle pieces, you got to find out what shape their pieces to make it fit. Does that make sense?
Why is preparation important before entering any negotiation?
Preparation is everything. Honestly, going in without it is kind of setting yourself up to fail. It's not just about knowing what you want, but anticipating what the other person wants, researching their position, figuring out your walk away point. Basically, it's about giving yourself options and a plan so you don't get flustered or make rash decisions in the moment. What do you tell your students about prep work?
I tell you later. How can you stay calm when the negotiation become tense?
When things get tense, staking a claim is about calmly reiterating your core needs and boundaries. It's not about escalating, but about firmly, respectfully holding your ground. Something like, I understand your point, But for this to work for me, X needs to be addressed. It's a way to refocus conversation on the essentials without making it personal. It's a tricky balance,
Okay,
right?
what
Have you
strategies can help you negotiate confidently without sounding aggressive?
mm, that's a good one. Confidence without aggression. Mm, it's about body language. For starters, maintaining eye contact, a steady tone. Also, framing requests is what worked for me instead of you have to do this. And focusing on shared goals. Like, if we can find a solution that addresses both our needs, we'll both benefit. Basically, being assertive, not abrasive. Um, do you teach your students techniques like that?
How can you create win-win solution in daily negotiation?
Okay, this gets good. Win win isn't about splitting everything 50-50. It's about identifying each person's priorities and finding creative solutions that satisfy as many of those priorities as possible. Often that means uncovering hidden value, something one person cares about a lot that the other person isn't even considering. Like maybe time is more important to you, while cost is more important to them. Finding that out opens up a whole new range of possibilities. Do you see happening often in real life scenarios?
Okay, why is knowing your non-negotiation negotiable importance?
Hmm. You mean why is knowing what you absolutely won't budge on important, even if you're trying to be flexible? It's because it protects your core values and prevents you from ending up in a situation you'll regret. It's like setting a boundary. If you don't know where your line is, someone else will draw it for you. It gives foundation to build from and the courage to walk away if necessary. Does that resonate?
What techniques can help you handle people who refuse to cooperate?
Oof. Those people are fun. When one flat out refuses to cooperate, it's tempting to get frustrated, but that usually makes things worse. I think the key is to try to understand why they're refusing. Are they feeling unheard? Are they scared? Sometimes just acknowledging their position, even if you disagree, can de escalate things. And sometimes you just have to accept that you can't theme you anything could. You can't force cooperation and move on. It's tough though, right? Really depends on the situation.
Okay, how does asking the right question strengthen your negotiation power?
Asking the right questions is like holding a superpower. It forces the other person to reveal their priorities, their constraints, their underlying motivations. It shifts the power dynamic because you're the one controlling the flow of information. Instead of stating your own position, you're getting them to explain theirs. What are your biggest concerns about this? What would a successful outcome look like for you? Questions like that. It's way more effective than just trying to convince them of your point of
How
view.
do you
Wouldn't you say?
negotiate with someone who has more authority or power?
That's a tricky one. It's about framing your requests and how they benefit the other person or the organization. Focus on solutions, not problems. Do your homework so you can present a full reasoned case. And honestly, sometimes a little bit of humility goes a long way. You're acknowledging their position while still advocating for your needs. It's a delicate dance. How do you advise your students to approach those kinds of situations?
I advise later. My last question: what negotiation habit do you want?
You mean
Um,
brings it all together?
one.
One, what? Did you want to ask one more question? Sorry, I think the connection glitched there for a sec.
I ask what negotiation habit do to develop starting day to day?
Ah, that. Um, negotiation habit do I want to develop? That's a fun question. think I'd like to get her at actively listening, really hearing what is saying, not just waiting for my turn to speak. It's easy to fall into patterns, even for me. But I think listening is the foundation of a truly successful negotiation. What about you? What's a negotiation habit you'd like to build?
I think negotiation is the most important technique to understand other people, their arguments and facts, which is more useful.
That's a really insightful way to put it. It's not just about getting what you want, it's about genuinely understanding where someone's coming from. And you're right, the act of negotiating, listening to the arguments and facts, forces you to do that. It's a really valuable skill in formal negotiations, but in all aspects of life. It sounds like you're a great sharing that perspective.